And now, it's Coast Vue with Ricky Matthews. Brought to you by JoAn Toyota, Gulf Coast Business Supply, and AGJ Systems and Networks on SuperTalk 103.1 FM.
Welcome to Coast Vue, the show that celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi such an amazing place to live, work, and play. Hope you're having a great Thursday. And I hope you're like me. You're tired of rain and wind. We've had enough rain and wind. It's time to move on and see those sunny days back again. A couple of quick things to share with you. One is this from Sherry Carr Beavis, a friend of mine on Facebook and someone I have a lot of admiration for. She said, be so passionate about improving your life that you don't have time to hate, judge, criticize, argue, or gossip about others. Boy, I know a lot of people who could take that advice. That is for sure. Hey, without any further ado, let's turn to our friend, Mayor FoFo Gilich of the city of Biloxi, and welcome him to Coast Vue. How you doing, FoFo?
Ricky, I'm doing well, doing really good. Getting ready for our State of the City, a live State of the City tomorrow. So, no, everything is good. I'm going over, where we are as far as, the excitement of coming back. So that's really, like the Apostle Paul, good news. It's good news to spread. So
it really is. I had the opportunity to be on the GALLO show yesterday, and essentially we talked about the mood in coastal Mississippi. You and I got to see a little bit of that at the annual chamber meeting. We're going to come back to that in just a second. But this opportunity to see 500 people together, coast leaders from all over coming together in a face-to-face meeting, that was amazing. But it was sort of a continuation of this feeling that we've had. But before we get into all that, I wanted to share something with you. I went on a bit of a rant yesterday about the perception of Mississippi being really completely different often than what people actually experience when they come here. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. I wanted to share this, that this is a friend of mine who's been on Coast Vue before. He's an attorney. He's a startup lawyer. He focuses on the entrepreneur community. His name is Matthew McLaughlin. He posted this. Being underestimated is one of the biggest competitive advantages you can have. Embrace it. And as an individual, I think that's true, that often we may be underestimated, but we should embrace it, and that gives us some opportunities to achieve things maybe that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to achieve. But when it comes to Mississippi and the perception of Mississippi, being underestimated as it relates to that perception can sometimes hurt us. It hurts us in economic development projects when people perceive something of us, and as Joe Max Higgins from the Golden Triangle said, when we get cut at the desktop, that's a real problem when it's the perception that got in the way. And one of the things I did, FoFo, is I went to YouTube. I did a search, just Mississippi. And the first thing that popped up was 10 reasons not to move to Mississippi. And I shared some of that yesterday. And I want you to, this is what it said about our beaches. No waves, a ton of bacteria, an oil spill that never got cleaned up. It would be safer to swim in a stagnant pond used to dispose of old shoes. That makes me so mad when I read stuff like that. And if that video has incidentally been viewed 283,000 times. It's got to make you just livid when you see people talk nasty about Mississippi.
Well, they just don't know. And I've battled this all my life, perceptions. But I have learned some things in battling and in life about, somebody gives you an answer or a reason not to do something. The first thing you do is repeat that, make sure you understand that, and then come back and say, look, if we can address those things, I have the business. So you got to stretch with me a little bit, the understanding. So if that's the only thing you got to clear up, well, we know our product sells itself. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about, for whatever reason, we had the greatest month ever in 29 years of gross gaming revenue in April, and we weren't even at full throttle yet. And then there are people, you're going to say, well, it's because this, it's because that. That's the negative thinking of it. The bottom line is, stretch with me a little bit. Whatever the reason, wherever they came from, however they got here, they got here. And what I always preach, what I proclaim, is that get them here once. and our product will sell itself. That's our challenge. So let's clear up some perceptions, get them here once. No doubt they'll be back. So, however, if they had people trying to make a negative spin on, oh, well, it's all stimulus money. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We got a ton of visitors, and I felt it. You felt it in February, in March, in April, and these numbers are astounding. Okay, so everybody's going to, a lot of folks want to have negative spin on everything. That's BS, in my opinion. I don't know if I could say that, but anyway, that's my thought. You know where my passion is. We battled a bunch of stuff in 2020.
I played a segment from Jim Cantori's always been a friend of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I think when he fought through the Katrina experience at the retirement home in Gulfport, it forever changed the way that he viewed us. He felt like he was one of us, and he had given a speech at Aspen Construction or something. But anyway, at the end, someone asked him a question about something specific, and his answer was really about Mississippi sort of being forgotten in the wake of Katrina, and he called us the forgotten coast. In a lot of ways, when you think about Mississippi's history, we've had a history of bouncing back. Whatever the situation, whether it's difficult challenges. We have dealt with our challenges for the most part. We have challenges like all states, but the reality is that what it's embodied in the hearts and souls of the people of Mississippi are people who are incredibly resilient. And often, and what I said yesterday as well, was that too often Mississippi is sort of the forgotten state, that we don't get credit for being sort of the home of American music, the blues trail, and the way we've come to grips with our civil rights past and the civil rights history and the civil rights tour that we have here, and the Grammy Museum, and so much, and the coast and what it has done. We don't get the credit that is due us, and I think we've got to scream a little louder at times to tell people that the one thing you think is our detriment, which is our people, it happens to be our number one asset. Our
strength, that's right. Our way of life. Everybody wants to enjoy our way of life, and once they understand it, man, I wish I were here, and that's the kind of reaction. So with today, the way life is moving with globalness, and you just, you can create a lot of stress that will, number the days you have left on Earth. Stress is something you don't need to have that, and I don't know what's genetic or what, but I don't like to concentrate on the reasons why not. Just like building this place. How can I help? Not you can't do, and that's my little bone of contention about a lot of this mess that goes on. People, they just don't know. I've been in deep in this mix and this life that we have and we want for our kids and their kids. So I'm really, you can't get my blood pressure up. That's the way.
Hey, but look, here's the thing though. One of the things that Haley Barbour did, I had the opportunity to work close with him on the recovery effort after Katrina, but he gave a speech not long after Katrina to the legislature, and one of the questions he asked was, what will our kids and our kids' kids say with us? Say of us? Will they say that we got it, or that we just missed this opportunity after Katrina? I think that people like you and me, this has always driven me, this notion of working harder about the role that I can play to build a better place, to make the perception better, to overcome whatever those perceptions are. What drives you as a mayor? Is that, this comment that I read at the very beginning, you don't spend a lot of time worrying about hate and judgment and criticism and arguing and gossip. You're too focused on trying to leave a legacy, because you want your kids and our kids' kids to say of you that you built a better Biloxi. And you're literally obsessed with that, aren't you?
It's true. Yeah, I do. I guess there's medication for that, but I am, if I'm awake, that's driving me, and don't everybody talks about the stress. Well, I thrive on stress, but I know, the goal is righteous, and so it's a pleasure for me. I'm having fun.
The goal is righteous, and it plays out in so many different ways. In the wake of the pandemic, it played out that we used our resilient spirit to reopen our economy rapidly and to get everyone aligned around what success looks like and how to create a healthy visit and whatever. We did that at the beginning of the pandemic. And so today, these numbers you talk about for April are a culmination of those efforts. We didn't get there haphazardly. We didn't just get a big windfall of money that just came pouring in here. We had to create a blueprint for success that now is playing out before our very eyes. That's true, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's we had to keep hitting. It's like practicing. You got to keep hitting. And then, and we, it's paying off. We're making those downfield blocks and having the receptions that we need to push it past the goal line. But
when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Mayor FoFo Gilich and just talk about other things that are going on, other parts of his vision that are coming to a reality, and they're really great news. There's nothing but good news right now that we should be focused on as it relates to Mississippi Gulf Coast. We'll be back after this break.
Coast Vue on SuperTalk 103.1 is brought to you by GALLO Toyota on I-10 exit 38 Gulfport. See all the incredible inventory at allentoyota.com. And remember, when you think Toyota, think GALLO Toyota.
Hey, South Mississippi, it's Jay Allen at Jay Allen Toyota, and I got something new for you for 2021. It's the Jay Allen Certified Collection. What that means is we selected our very best inventory with under 75,000 miles, and they're 6 years old or newer. That comes with a multi-point inspection, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and a 3-day buyback guarantee. So come check out the Jay Allen Certified Pre-Owned Collection right here, I-10 exit 38 in Gulfport, or on allentoyota.com.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking hard-to-find PPE items. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. When your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
From outer space, visitors from another world. We've had contact with bug-eyed monsters.
This is actually a flying saucer.
Flying saucer?
I'm from another planet.
Where late nights are kind of weird.
Well, they must have a reason for their visits.
The unexplained, the weird, and the downright creepy. Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Late nights.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
If Alexa's part of your life, you've got one more way to access SuperTalk. SuperTalk Mississippi is now available on Amazon Alexa devices. Once enabled, just say, Alexa, play SuperTalk Mississippi at any time and start listening. It's that easy. Just one more way to stay informed and connected with your state. Learn more at supertalk.fm/Alexa. SuperTalk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi. Now available on Amazon Alexa devices. Feeling down? Here's your prescription for a daily dose of good news and positive vibes. Good Things with Rebecca Turner. Every afternoon, Rebecca highlights all the good things happening right here in the state you call home. Daily exposure to Good Things with Rebecca Turner may cause smiling, feelings of positivity, happiness, and even laughter. When you experience these symptoms, tell your friends to listen.
Okay.
Weekdays starting at 2 p.m. here on SuperTalk Mississippi and now on Amazon Alexa devices.
106.3 Casino Radio is here. Tune to 106.3 to discover all of our must-see attractions and everything that's happening at our 12 incredible casino resorts. Where to eat, where to stay, what to do, and where to play. 106.3 Casino Radio has you covered with everything you need to know to help make your visit here to the coast one you'll never forget. Turn on 106.3 Casino Radio or listen now on our website, casinoradio1063.com.
Talking to the people that help make the coast such a unique place to live. This is Coast View with Ricky Matthews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast Vue. Hey, I'm so sorry for getting worked up. 2 days in a row, I'm worked up. But you know what? We should, man, if you live here and you love this place, there's no reason why you can't share with me an amazing passion for this place. That's why Coast Vue came about. I mean, I was retired. I didn't have to do this, but I love to do this because it gives me a chance to express my passion for this area and to talk to people who have a very similar passion, like Mayor FoFo Gilich, who we're talking with today. Hey, Mayor, look, let's shift gears. You and I had the opportunity to sit together at the Coast Chamber annual meeting. It was so cool to see 500 leaders in the room at the same time in a face-to-face meeting, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was great to be back somewhere. I think it's the first time I sat down and ate anything. Sat down and had a meal with other folks, other than my family, since March of 2020. But it really was cool, and it just felt good. And we're on the way back. I think, and hopefully this stuff is in our rearview mirror. And I just nothing but positive is what I see.
I see it too. Hey, one of the things that actually right after that, I had an opportunity to visit with Dr. Nicholas Conger, who is the infectious disease doctor for Memorial, who's been on my show so many times. And I asked him, I said, it was interesting because you experienced this too. People didn't know whether to do a fist pump or shake hands or when to take their mask off, and it was that was a little clumsy because for a lot of people that was sort of the first big time that they've been around a lot of other people. And sort of the point that he made to me was this, that so many people have been vaccinated. That's number one. People who have chosen not to be vaccinated, they sort of made their choice now. So what he said was that if you've been vaccinated, you're not going to be able to shake someone's hand and then shake another, and you're not going to be able to spread it, and you're not going to be able to get it. So just live your life. And if someone decided not to get it, it's up to them to decide whether they want to wear a mask or not. I really think that was pretty good advice, don't you?
Well, I think that it was the way the obvious course. I mean, we can't twist anybody's arm, and we're hopeful that the majority of the people who decided to hey, let's end this by getting a shot, and risking the minimal risk that has been shown to be the case. But yeah. Hey, it's just for the good of the order, and yeah. I'm happy that we have it here.
I would urge people to consider getting the vaccine. I heard news just this morning where a family member of a friend has ended up on a ventilator because they did not get the shot and they did catch COVID, and it's kind of a tragic situation. And at this stage of our progression with the vaccine, it's sad to hear news like that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, some people feel you're bulletproof, but you're not really bulletproof. When you run across the deal, and we just pray that things work out. It's just something. If you can do something about it and assess the risk, to you personally, and you make those calls. But sometimes it's not the right call.
It's not, unfortunately. Hey, look, I want to talk about your State of the City address. But before I do, I just wanted to tell you, I had the opportunity to ride down to the beach on one of my long bike rides, and I actually got on the new section of the boardwalk around Treasure Bay and took it all the way down to the comfort station there near Rodenberg. And gosh, man, I mean, I posted something about it, and a lot of people commented, and I put some pictures up. That's a heck of a vision. And one of the comments that someone made was, but then when hurricanes come, they're just going to become battering rams. I said, no, you don't get it. The construction.
We had an 11-foot storm surge. We lost no boards.
Not a single board, right? The design was terrific.
It was, and we we're challenged to do not the same thing over and over. So we don't want to rebuild the Lighthouse Pier or the Veterans Avenue Pier or any of the piers at Coliseum over and over. There are things we've done. We've engaged a number of engineers, companies for thoughts on what we're going to do when we rebuild. There's things like Growins. I don't know if you've ever been to Galveston, Texas. They got wave action, but they got Growins that have been around since 1910. And those things, you don't replace those piers. So we're not going to do the same thing over and over with the Lighthouse Pier, especially with, the things that we have to do. to protect that. But then the boardwalk, as you mentioned, we want, I envision, all around the peninsula from, get off the, walk off the bridge or get on a bike right at the bridge and do that thing all the way to DeBees Road. And that's, about 31,000 linear feet. And we've got about 14,000 of it covered. We're ready to go with plans for the rest. Anything's possible given time and money. I'm preaching for that. And those experiences like you have and your family has using that, they need to have testimonial. So these people that I'm trying to, get $1 million a mile to do, know that the value is there for our, for our visitations and for our citizens too. So
you don't think about infrastructure per se being something that, like on TripAdvisor, that would be this big deal. But if you go to TripAdvisor today, one of the things that is listed there as a very popular place for tourists to go is the Biloxi Ocean Springs Bridge. I mean, no one ever envisioned it would become this place that people park and go for this walk. I think the boardwalk has that same kind of allure to it. I mean, I think the boardwalk it will become a destination because you see people, you have these seats along the way, and they're just sitting, enjoying the sea breeze, and people walking and bike riding. It's super special. And I would really encourage anyone who's listening to this who has not been to the boardwalk, go see what I'm talking about. I think I'm not blowing it out of proportion. It is really, really special. And it gives you such a sense of what tourists see when they come to coastal Mississippi. It's quite beautiful. And it's a super vision. I congratulate you for being really doggedly determined to make that vision become a reality.
Well, I'm appreciative of that. I'm appreciative that you've enjoyed it, and that people have seen you enjoy it, and say, hey, just go experience it for yourself and see how cool it is. You look at how millions of dollars spent, and sometimes it doesn't make sense, but this makes sense. This makes sense. And not only are you going to see, my passion will be, we think we've got those projects in motion, and we know what we need to do, and some of it, are, like along the bay, the Bayview Boardwalk, and those, enjoy that bay. But now, my emphasis is going to be making sure the beauty of it is retained. There are things going on, and you got who's responsible for this. Basically, I'm responsible for anything that's in Biloxi, whether it's MDOT, they have budget, or whether it's Sand Beach and they have budget, or the county and they have budget. I'm going to fix it. Okay, we're going to make sure that this place looks like it's it's clean and feels beautiful, and that's what we want. That's the first impression. You're going to see a great effort to do that. So
I had a representative from Keesler on in the past week or two, and we talked about the new gate and the culmination of all the infrastructure fixes that are happening on the streets and infrastructure there outside that new gate. But boy, that's going to be transformative in and of itself, isn't it?
It is. I mean, like I said, in 2015, just 72 short months ago, when General Clark Griffin, our former councilman from out there, we drove around and this has been talked about since the 70s. Okay, when the bridge, I-110 was that was part of making the new main gate there. We talked about that for 30 plus years. And we dug into it in 2015, along with then Colonel Michelle Edmondson, who is coming back as Second Air Force Commander and a two-star general, a major general. Shortly. So we learned a little bit about MILCON, those kinds of terms and where we were, but that was a big deal, post 9/11 security. It'll be secure now. If you get a chance to go into it and around it, it's going to be quite a thing. But that was a $37 million project, inside and outside.
Wow.
On the way.
But it creates this flow now that's going to be quicker to I-10 or I-110 and then to downtown or to the beaches, and it just makes more sense. It's a vast improvement over what we had, isn't it?
We're excited. Like I said, by the end of the year, you're going to be experiencing it. So that's
okay. So at the beginning of last year, when the pandemic was all coming down, we didn't know what the heck was going to happen. I mean, we were worried the economy was going to go to hell in a handbasket. Coastal Mississippi was going to be in deep trouble. you look back on it now, and as I said at the beginning of the show, we've really worked hard. We worked hard to create a blueprint for success, even within the pandemic. And now you're giving a State of the City address, and you're talking about kind of where we are in this moment. We're in a much better place than you expected we would be in at this stage of the game, aren't we?
No doubt. I mean, given where we are in the first early months of the year, and I've been tracking, you know me, I like those numbers. Numbers don't lie. And I've been bouncing. You could just feel it in February. With the vaccines and stuff like that, you can feel people around. You could feel it over your shoulders. Man, we got a lot of people down here. Okay. And I was monitoring, the gross gaming revenue, and that jumped from like $71 million to the next month. I'm talking about February, right? It's not a big month, okay? And, then we had, March Madness, and so we jumped from 71 million to 92 million the next month, from 92 million to 111 gross gaming, millions of gross gaming revenue in Biloxi. That's an astounding number when you look at the time of the year. And again, those naysayers will say, well, there's a reason for that. They'll get on the negative kick. It doesn't matter. These are new people that came here. They experience our so whatever, whether they have, pandemic money or in stimulus money, it doesn't matter. They've experienced the product. They'll be back. Can you imagine if they walked the boardwalk, if they were staying there, and for the bang for the buck for what we had, nobody can compete with us. Nobody.
Nobody can compete with us. That is for sure. And the theme of your State of the City address is going to be, wow, wow, wow. We got a lot to be thankful for and a lot to look forward to. I wish we could get into some details, but we look forward to sharing your speech when you give it. So it's been a pleasure, FoFo. I appreciate you taking time.
Always my pleasure, Ricky. Tell everyone
You bet.
Okay, thank you.
I'll definitely do that. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. See you later.
Listen live or on demand and watch episodes of Coast Vue on your laptop, desktop, or on your phone or tablet by going to SuperTalkMSGulfCoast.com.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking very hard-to-find PPE items to make our community a safer place. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. They were even sending thousands of dollars of PPE supplies free to local schools in need with help from other local business leaders. The next time your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider a local company that supports your ball teams, cheerleaders, and area homeless. Consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply, the local guys that keep your prices fair, your service and selection excellent, and your health our business. Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk.fm has a new look and is more informative than ever with expanded Mississippi news coverage, the latest Mississippi weather, Mississippi sports, and of course, the talk that's important to you. Every show, every podcast, and every late-breaking story. Constantly updating the news the second new developments happen. All in one place. The new SuperTalk.fm.
106.3 Casino Radio is here. Tune to 106.3 to discover all of our must-see attractions and everything that's happening at our 12 incredible casino resorts. Where to eat, where to stay, what to do, and where to play. 106.3 Casino Radio has you covered with everything you need to know to help make your visit here to the coast one you'll never forget. Turn on 106.3 Casino Radio or listen now on our website, CasinoRadio1063.com.
Hey, South Mississippi, the future has arrived. It's 2021, and at J. Allen Toyota, we're here to serve you. Want to let you know that we have Allen's lifetime warranty on every new Toyota we sell. That also comes with Toyota Care. That's 2 years and 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. We have a great rental department. Our service department's ready to take care of your current vehicle. We're rolling out J. Allen certified pre-owned for 2021. You got to come to I-10 exit 38 right here in Gulfport. You're going to love what we have to offer. When you think Toyota, think Allen Toyota.
Feeling down? Here's your prescription for a daily dose of good news and positive vibes. Good Things with Rebecca Turner. Every afternoon, Rebecca highlights all the good things happening right here in the state you call home. Daily exposure to Good Things with Rebecca Turner may cause smiling, feelings of positivity, happiness, and even laughter. When you experience these symptoms, tell your friends to listen.
Okay.
Weekdays starting at 2 p.m. here on SuperTalk Mississippi and now on Amazon Alexa devices.
Hey, I'm Steve Azar, and you never know who or what you'll hear when I spend a Mississippi Minute with my friends. Talking to Paul Thorne, Mississippi true treasure, really incredible recording artist, singer, songwriter, has been doing it a long time, doing it the right way.
It's almost like a Forrest Gump thing because, I was a boxer, / I worked in a furniture factory, / I had a gig 2 nights a week playing my acoustic guitar in a pizza restaurant, / I was in the National Guard, and,
Wow.
All this stuff was going on at the same time. / I had a writing contract with Rick Hall and Fame.
In a Mississippi Minute. Be sure to check out In a Mississippi Minute with me, Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and now available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
Just seems to me people have so much invested in not telling the truth.
When you want the truth.
Simply because it might hurt some feelings.
And nothing but the truth.
Lose some subscribers.
You want the GALLO radio show.
I just think in this audience, you still believe that if you tell the truth, you come out ahead.
The GALLO radio show.
And if you tell yourself otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Mornings on SuperTalk Mississippi.
And now, it's Coast Vue with Ricky Matthews. Brought to you by J. Allen Toyota, Gulf Coast Business Supply, and AGJ Systems and Networks on SuperTalk 103.1 FM.
Welcome back to Coast Vue. I really enjoyed that conversation. And it's true, we have special work to do in terms of the interpretation or perception that people have of Mississippians and what they actually see when they come here. But as Joe Mack said, when economic development people who want to relocate or whatever, when they come to the state and meet the people here, they are touched by it and they are completely compelled by the reality that what they see in the people is different than what they expected when they get here. So he said, if I could just get people to come here, it will make all the difference in the world. And it just drives him crazy when projects get cut at the desktop. That's what he calls it, gets cut at the desktop. But we got work to do there, and it was fun to talk to Keith about it. I'm going to stay focused on it because Coast Vue is about, putting the best of Mississippi and coastal Mississippi forward. With that said, one of the things I talk about a lot, and we talked about this in the Jim Cantori piece that we shared in the first segment, that volunteers are the key to our survival here in coastal Mississippi, especially after Hurricane Katrina. We have so many great nonprofits doing amazing work all along coastal Mississippi, but it's the volunteers that fill the spaces, that fill where there are gaps. And we're so lucky to have so many amazing people doing so much work. And one is my next guest, JoAn Cupp, Niceley. JoAn and I, we're friends from the early 80s. We go back a long way. We've watched each other sort of grow up. She used to cut my hair back in the day, back when I had hair. But she is a really good friend, and I've been just touched by watching her Pink Heart Fund's efforts over the many years, and I look forward to joining her joining me here on Coast Vue. JoAn, how are you doing this morning?
Wonderful, thank you. So good to be here.
So let's kind of take the journey a little bit. So back when you and I knew each other back in the early '80s, we had common friends. And you had started your own. You were young. You had your own beauty salon and kind of doing your thing. You were a young entrepreneur, and how old were you back in those days when you started your own business?
My first one was at the age of 20.
That is incredible. Where did your inspiration come from to get started that young and be so successful at it?
I didn't like listening to anyone else. I wanted to do my own thing. So me and bosses don't get along real well. I had my own ideas and my own motivation, and I wanted to roll with it.
Well, JoAn, a lot of entrepreneurs say that. They're not joiners. They don't they don't necessarily so too often play well with others, at least as it relates to being told what to do. They want freedom and they want to innovate and do their own thing. And you clearly did that. And
Yeah.
you so that was in the early 80s. So you've done that line of work for your entire life, just about, huh?
Try 42 years.
That is scary. That's scary. Man. You're dating. You're dating us big time. I know the answer to this question, but let's talk a little bit about where the inspiration for Pink Heart Funds came from. So talk about your personal experience and then how it connected to this mission that you've been on.
Well, actually, I had started Pink Heart Funds before I was diagnosed with cancer. One of my clients in the beauty salon was diagnosed with a rare cancer and given like 8 months to live. In that short time, I realized how hard it was to get wigs here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And when you talk about your dad's dying wish, her dying wish was that I could find affordable wigs for women with cancer. And I just took it one step further. For the past 22 years, we've been giving out free wigs, free breast prosthetics, post-mastectomy bras. And when I got diagnosed in 2002, that's when I really realized the need that, even though you have health insurance, doesn't mean you have the coverage for the wig or for the breast prosthetic. And I had breast cancer. Luckily, I had fabulous insurance, but I met so many women that were like, they had lost their breast and they're stuffing socks in their bras, or their breast prosthetic was so old they had it duct taped or with, electrical tape, and it just broke my heart. And so I've just thought, we've got to get this all over the coast. The nonprofit actually developed in 2005, right after Katrina. I mean, I couldn't even get a lawyer to help me get it started. So I did it on the internet and risked sending in money, but it worked.
Well, look, what's interesting about your journey, and I didn't realize this, that your passion for the subject didn't come as a direct result of your own cancer diagnosis, which really is incredible, really, if you think of the series of events now, that it was a friend and then your passion, and then ultimately you were diagnosed with breast cancer. But I bet during those times, those early times on your own personal experience with breast cancer, you were thinking to yourself, I can't believe I'm here. After all the work that you've done to understand the impact on people, it's in a way, it's almost like divine intervention in a way, because it helps you can personalize it in such a very specific way. It makes you even more passionate to be on this mission, doesn't it?
Right. I know when I was diagnosed with my cancer, I remember saying, at first I was angry. I was like, why me? I'm helping these people. I need to stay healthy. And I mean, it was like an hour later, I said, God, I know what you're doing. You are allowing me to experience cancer so I can better understand what these women are going through. And that is exactly what happened. And I just ran with God. And I took off, and we have given out thousands of free wigs, free breast prosthetics. We are all volunteers. It's a team, though. It's not just me. It's a team of us that have made a difference.
Yeah, I noticed that you were nodding at the beginning when I talked about how fortunate we are in coastal Mississippi to have so many incredible volunteers. I often talk about President Bush's 1,000 points of light, but it's true. And I played a segment, you'll see it when the show airs, but I played a segment from Jim Cantori that talked about Mississippi's forgotten coast after Katrina, but how it sort of revolutionized the way volunteers work. And we don't need a Katrina these days to get volunteers ramped up. We have it in our heart and soul and in our DNA to help each other. But you see it every day, don't you?
I do. These women several of the women that volunteer with Pink Heart Funds have been there for like 12 years, or since the conception of Pink Heart Funds. And they're dedicated, and a lot of love is shown there. We try to make everybody smile. We want happiness. They see sadness every day. And so our goal is not just to fit them with a prosthetic or a wig, but to encourage them and just get their self-confidence back. And it's very touching. We are the ones who feel blessed. I know the cancer survivors do, but we do too.
Well, I've followed you all these years, and I know for a fact that you do feel blessed. And it's not just women. I see children from time to time that you're able to help. When you take a child that's going through a very difficult, like either radiation or chemotherapy, and they have the impact that is expected with no hair, and you have the opportunity to give them sort of their self-esteem back, that has to be tearful every time you do it.
It is. And one of the things about when you're working with the children is, you know, I remember the first time I thought, oh, this little girl's going to be so happy. I can't wait to put her wig on. And the child just kind of sat there, but mom broke down in tears. And I was like, I'm sorry, you don't like the wig? No, I'm so happy to have my baby back. And so I find these parents are the ones who get more joy out of the child getting a wig than the actual child. And so that's huge. And I have become so attached to so many of these children. And of course, we've lost a lot of them, a lot of local children. But over the years, we've been able to help over 500 children with free wigs. And that's huge.
So for the Facebook and YouTube audience, they see this, and for the radio audience, describe what's behind you.
What do you mean behind me?
The wigs and other things. Your backdrop.
Back there? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, those are just a few of the wigs. I'm actually in my hair studio. I'm not at Pink Heart Funds, but I always keep wigs available because you never know if somebody needs one. But we actually have a major inventory of wigs. We try to have that special wig when you call us and you're crying and you're like, oh my gosh, my hair is falling out by the handful. And, you know, can I come today? We can't always fit them that day, but we would like to be able to fit you if possible. If not, we order and we pay for the 2-day shipping. Recently, we were donated quite a few wigs to help women. It's all new on our website. It's going to be amazing.
That's incredible. Look, we're going to continue the conversation after the break. There's a really important event coming up. I want to talk about the event. I want you to tell about, evolutions of the Pink Heart Fund. We'll talk about that as well. But this is JoAn Cupp Niceley. She is a dedicated volunteer when it comes to helping women who have difficult times during their cancer treatment. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
You can also listen live to SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on your Amazon Alexa devices. Once you've enabled the skill, just say, Alexa, open SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast.
SuperTalk.fm has a new look and is more informative than ever with expanded Mississippi news coverage, the latest Mississippi weather, Mississippi sports, and of course, the talk that's important to you. Every show, every podcast, and every late-breaking story. Constantly updating the news the second new developments happen. All in one place. The new SuperTalk.fm.
Hey, South Mississippi, it's Jay Allen at Jay Allen Toyota, and I got something new for you for 2021. It's the Jay Allen Certified Collection. What that means is we selected our very best inventory with under 75,000 miles, and they're 6 years old or newer. That comes with a multi-point inspection, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and a 3-day buyback guarantee. So come check out the Jay Allen Certified Pre-Owned Collection right here, I-10 exit 38 in Gulfport, or on allentoyota.com.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking hard-to-find PPE items. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. When your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
It just seems to me people have so much invested in not telling the truth.
When you want the truth.
Simply because it might hurt some feelings.
And nothing but the truth.
Lose some subscribers.
You want the Gallo Radio Show.
I just think in this audience, you still believe that if you tell the truth, you come out ahead.
The Gallo Radio Show.
And if you tell yourself otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Mornings on SuperTalk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi, your new home for the Ben Shapiro Show.
We don't hold back. We never shy away from telling you the truth.
The most electrifying national talk show on air today.
We have the most important guests and the biggest thinkers in America.
Ben Shapiro, brutally breaking down the issues of the day.
From politics to pop culture, we take a look at all of it. So don't miss out.
Weeknights at 9.
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Hey, I'm Steve Azar, and you never know who or what you'll hear when I spend a Mississippi Minute with my friends. We're talking to Del Berra. Take me back to growing up and what it was like in the household with a dad like Yogi Berra.
You know, we grew up with his funny sayings. You know, I remember Dad managing the Mets, and me, Larry, and Timmy are watching the game on TV. And all of a sudden, two streakers run out of the stands on TV, and the camera flips away from them. So when he gets home, me, Larry, and Timmy say, "Hey, Dad, those streakers, what were they, boys or girls? We need to know." And Dad looked us right in the eye and said, "I couldn't tell. They had bags over their heads."
In a Mississippi Minute. Be sure to check out In a Mississippi Minute with me, Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and now available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
106.3 Casino Radio is here. Tune to 106.3 to discover all of our must-see attractions and everything that's happening at our 12 incredible casino resorts. Where to eat, where to stay, what to do, and where to play. 106.3 Casino Radio has you covered with everything you need to know to help make your visit here to the coast one you'll never forget. Turn on 106.3 Casino Radio or listen now on our website, CasinoRadio1063.com.
Talking to the people that help make the coast such a unique place to live. This is Coast View with Ricky Matthews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast View. I have a dear friend of mine, an old friend, somebody that we go a long way back together. We're not going to say how far back, JoAn, but it's JoAn Cupp, Niceley. She's with the Pink Heart Fund. She has her own beauty salon in Long Beach, but she is someone who's just been super passionate about helping women and children who have had cancer diagnoses and very difficult treatment to have wigs and prosthetics and other help that they need to sort of help them through the time when their self-esteem is going to be impacted greatly. I love the fact that you said that when you get the call, you want to try to fit them as quickly as possible because you know in that moment when they made that call, they're reaching out for help and you want to be able to help them as quickly as possible. What a great goal that is.
Yes, and it's just been amazing how what a difference we've made and for them. And you know, we can minister to them as well. You know, it's amazing how many women come in there and we've had them living in their car going through chemotherapy. And it's like, wow. But then they get this wig and they're just like, wow. Or they get their new breast prosthetics and they're like, oh my gosh. It's awesome.
I can see how you'd be touched by it. And the more you help, the more it makes you want to help more, doesn't it? It sort of feeds off itself, doesn't it?
Yes. So
if people want to, we're going to come to the event next, but I want to make sure people know if you know someone who needs the sort of services that the Pink Heart Fund provides, tell them how to find you on the internet.
Absolutely. All they have to do is go to Pink Heart Funds, Funds, heart is singular, pinkheartfunds.org. Everything you need is on our website. Everything you need.
Wow, that's great. So, okay, so the ribbon walk is coming up.
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
Well, our walk is usually in October, but this year I joined in with the Memorial Foundation Oncology Fund. They asked me to join them, and due to COVID, nobody's been able to raise any money. So we tried the virtual walk, and I think we raised $30. So the two of us going together, being nonprofits, that strictly all the money goes to helping local people with cancer. So the Oncology Fund, they help with gas vouchers and medications, where we help the uninsured and underinsured with the wigs, the breast prosthetics, and the mastectomy bras. So these are 5 things that people right here on the Gulf Coast can be helped with, that we need those funds.
So it's going to be May the 22nd. It's actually coming up here pretty soon. Give me some of the details of that day.
Well, we have a lot going on. There's a silent auction that starts that morning at 7 a.m. So you early birds that like to just get out, you don't want to go walk, but you want to come shop. 7 a.m. to 10, we're having a silent auction. Lots of wonderful things. We have the Doggy Dash, and that is where you dress your dog up in a costume, tutus, and because our walk is about all types of cancer, we want you to put a teal tutu on your dog if someone is going through ovarian cancer. Look up the ribbon that's the color of cancer, for the type of cancer you're going through. So the Doggy Dash is always a big thing because, we involve the pets. The walk is up to 3 miles, but we have markers where if you want to just turn around and, not everybody can walk 3 miles. And I think, and the 5K run, we always have a lot of runners come out. Diva Timing is going to be timing everyone. So that's always good. They want their medals. And then something that's very special this year, in the past, we've always released balloons. And of course, you don't want to do that anymore because of the environment. And so we are having a butterfly release. And I think we've sold near 100 butterflies. So you can just release a butterfly in memory of someone or in honor. I want to release one just for myself because it's going to be great. Yeah.
So you said it's $25 donation for a butterfly release, and you've sold over 100. That's terrific.
Yes. So, and we have a few left. I think the count was about 12 butterflies are left. So if anybody wants a butterfly, let us know. And we want more runners and walkers. Same thing there. You can go to our website at pinkheartfunds.org, and you can just print off your registration or go online and register, or register the day of. $25 is not that much to help so many people in need.
It sounds absolutely amazing. As you pointed out, people can learn more about it at pinkheartfunds.org. By the way, Cal reached out to WLOX, and they were nice enough to provide the PSA that they're running that you posted. So we'll put that with this show. It'll play during the show at some point so that people can hear about that. Hey, listen, we'll have you back. It'd be interesting to talk to you in the future, see how this went and what other events are coming. But now that we've connected, my old friend, we'll stay in touch, because I want to continue to put your efforts front and center so people can do whatever they can to help you help others. It's just so touching, and I'm proud of you. You've made a wonderful contribution to this community. You're going to leave an amazing legacy, and I get to call you my friend. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ricky. God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you too. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Follow SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on Facebook. Facebook.com/SuperTalk MS Coast 103.1.